Hello, it's Monday. We're back with our noon lunchtime flow, and we'll just take, 30, 40 minutes of a practice. Just finding your way into your breath, finding your way into wherever you are right now. They'll take let's see if our microphone's working. If you have blocks, you can set them up. If you have some pillows, just in case you want. I'm going to use the blocks at the front of my mat just to find a way into a child's pose. With my elbows up, clasp my hands behind my head, and just draw my chin to my chest. I'm calling this the Reiki rock, as we can't quite get into our practitioners. We're just trying to see what we can do to help ourselves move into stillness, move into spots of more space, less pain. Drawing your chin down, walk your elbows forward maybe. In and out through the nose. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to remove the blocks and find my way into my first downward dog of the day, the week, the month. We'll see. Heels toward the floor, palms flat. The eyes locate at the navel. The floating ribs, instead of puffing out, let's draw them in toward each other, just to create a sense of strength. It also safeguards the small of the back. Inhale, shift your weight forward, walk your right foot through the hands. Give yourself a little twist, getting all the kinks out. I got a lot of good cracks in there. Let me know if you did. Good morning, Jania. I think it's afternoon now. Okay. Exhale, tuck the left toe under. Pause for a moment in sort of a pyramid stretch. You can lift the toe up and then draw yourself back into downward dog. Shift right and left. Take the left foot through the hands. Come on to the right knee. Give yourself a little twist there maybe. Just noticing for yourself, just an observation where you are today. And come forward to the front of your mat. Take either elbow. Try not to lock out your knees. We're going for straight legs, but not locked out. Gently, slowly roll on up to standing. And right away, just a little roll of the shoulders. And take the palms together. Inhale, reach the arms up above the head. Exhale, swan dive forward, fold in half, hands toward the floor. Nose toward the knees. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, bend the knees, walk back into plank. Your first plank of the day, the week, the month perhaps. Inwardly rotate the thighs. Pause here in your plank position. If you need to drop to your knees, please do. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, knees off the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, the eyes locate at the navel. It helps to focus the posture, helps bring forth that inward turn, elongates the breath. We're looking for the length of the inhale and the exhale to match. Lift the kneecaps. Come onto the balls of the feet. Bend the knees. Walk or lightly jump the feet forward. Inhale, the heart lifts, the chest lifts. Exhale, fold in half. Let the head go. In fact, if you want, you could clasp the hands behind the nape of the neck and roll on up to standing. Inhale, reach the arms up again. Exhale, palms to your heart. Number 2, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold in half, swan dive forward, hands toward the floor. Inhale, shift forward on the balls of the feet. Lift the kneecaps, bend the knees now. Keep the gaze past the mat as you walk or lightly jump into chaturanga. Upward facing dog, knees off the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe there, 5 breaths. 1. Drawing the navel in, the tailbone down. 2. 3. And I'm lifting my thighs, trying to lift behind the kneecaps, above the kneecaps. 5. Look forward, bend the knees. Walk or lightly jump the feet forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, let's roll up to standing. Draw the shoulders back and palms to the heart. And again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in half, hands toward the floor, nose toward the knees. Inhale, chest lifts, heart lifts, bend the knees, look past the mat, walk into push-up, or exhale, jump into chaturanga. Upward facing dog. If you need to stay in cobra, that's totally fine. Up dog requires a little bit more energy in the upper body. Exhale, downward facing dog. Eyes travel to the navel. 1. In and out through the nose. 2. 3. Here comes the dog ready to explore with me. 5. Bend the knees. Walk or lightly float forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come on up. Hands touch, exhale, hands down. Last time, inhale, reach the arms up. Fold in half, swan dive forward, hands toward the floor. Inhale, you're in that halfway position, everything lifting up. Bend the knees, now look past the mat. If you want to learn to jump, you have the blocks. Nice way to do it is to put your hands on the blocks. Try to think about a little string maybe right there in the tail. And then try to walk yourself back. Bend the elbows. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And call this 3. 4. Downward dog. Yes, thank you. 5. Bend the knees. Look to the hands. Walk or lightly float forward. Inhale. Heart lifts. Chest lifts. Exhale. Fold in half. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. Bend the knees. Take chair. And come on up to standing. Here we go. Surya Namaskar B. So we'll start in chair position. And, whoops, hands to the floor, nose toward the knees. Inhale, lift the heart and the chest. Keep gazing past the mat as you walk or float into chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take the right foot all the way through the hands and really scooch the left foot on its side, heel to heel line up. Arms up. And through a vinyasa. Exhale. Here's still your exhale. Exhale. And your inhale. Up dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Left foot through the hands. Right foot on its side. Keep squaring the hips. Scooch the left hip back. The right hip forward. Eyes up. And through plank. Bend the elbows. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Eyes travel to the nose. Breathe 1. And 2. 3. 4. bend the knees, look to the hands. Walk or lightly jump. Inhale, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. We're just flowing through this, just like it's a dance. Inhale, chair position, hands to the floor, nose toward the knees. Inhale, exhale. This is still your exhale. You're ready to jump into chaturanga or walk back into plank. Inhale, exhale. Turn the left foot on its side, right foot through the hands. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale through the vinyasa. We're still exhaling. Chaturanga, upward dog. Downward dog, left foot through the hands. Really square the hips to the front of the mat. Exhale through plank. Upward dog. Downward dog. And locate the eyes at the navel. Breathe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bend the knees. Lightly walk or jump forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, chair position. We're moving quickly. Exhale, stand last time. Inhale, chair position. And fold in half, hands toward the floor. Shift your weight onto the balls of the feet. Really lift the pubic bone. Still there. It's hard to do. Lift the kneecaps. Bend the knees. Walk into push-up or jump to chaturanga. Here in your push-up, you can bend the elbows or come all the way to the floor. Upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Take the right foot through the hands. Left foot on its side. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Through plank. Bend the elbows. Upward facing dog. Inhale, inhale. Downward facing dog. Right foot on its side. Take the left foot through the hands. Keep squaring the hips. Exhale through plank. Bend the elbows. Upward dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. You did it. Child's pose is always a good place to hang out. 2. Breathe. 3. 4. 5. Let's visit a posture that we don't always do, that bird of paradise. Take the right foot in front, scooch your right shoulder gently but determinedly underneath the right thigh, and visit that by walking back and forth, shifting your weight, I should say. Just shift your weight forward and back. We'll come back to it. And maybe stretch the leg, undo the hand, take downward facing dog. Take the left foot through the hands, scooch the left arm underneath. And again, you could take the hand up, you could breathe it down. The right foot is on its side, scooch forward and back. Just to unwind the inner thighs. And then you're going to take both hands out, walk both feet to the front of the mat. And we'll find our way to our regularly scheduled program. Hold the big toes. Inhale. Shift your weight to the balls of the feet. Exhale. The elbows bend open to the sides. You want straight legs, but not to lock out the knees. So put that little micro bend in the knees. Shoulders away from the ears. 2, 3. In and out through the nose. 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Shimmy your hands underneath your feet. And maybe you go a little bit deeper. Shift your weight forward again. Inhale, inhale. Exhale. Fold in half. Letting your head be super heavy. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, flatten the back. Come on up to standing. Roll the shoulders back. Take the left leg back, right away triangle pose. So my right foot's in front, heel to heel line up. Reach the right hand out. And then wherever you are, you are. We're trying to stack the left shoulder on top of the right. So if that means that you need to keep the hand up by the calf, fantastic. If it goes down to the right big toe, just make sure you're not dropping this left hip and left shoulder all the way forward. We're still trying to peel it back. If you want to use the block or some kind of prop on the outside of the right foot, that's fantastic. Lift the kneecaps, pull the navel in. Left arm up to the sky. If that's okay for the neck, you look up. If not, keep it down. Inhale, bring both arms out. Turn both toes now to the left, so toward the left heel. Shift your hips to the right. Reach the left arm out and forward, getting all sorts of good cracks. And then I like to pause. Just pause and see where you are. Don't just automatically assume that you know what this side feels like just because you did the first side. The right hip does go down a little bit, but not completely. Keep the shoulder going back. Right hand stacking on top of the right shoulder. Inhale. Maybe you hold the big toes and breathe. Well, there's only one big toe on each foot, I guess. So one big toe, not plural. 2. Using my kneecaps a whole lot to stay put. 3, 4. Shift your left hip back. 5. Inhale. Come on up. We're going to take triangle twist. So you're going to turn and face the right leg again. Peek that it's a heel to heel lineup. Yeah, not more narrow. You can even err on the side of wider. It helps keep our foundation more. Left arm reaches up, reach forward. Keep the hips lifted, draw the ribs in. If you have that block and you want to use it, you can take it on the outside of the right foot. That helps also keep the hips really honest. Yeah, because oftentimes we let the hips go in these twists. Keep the hips back. The right arm's going to go up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the right knee a little bit to come on up maybe. And shift your gaze, your hips, everything to the second side. Right arm reaches up. Keep reaching forward past the foot and then realign the hips. Yeah, so we're not letting the right hip lift up or lift too much this way. The heels, heel to heel line up. Left arm reaches up. Lift the kneecaps, and then if you can, you lift up toward the eyes toward the left hand. Inhale, windmill the arms. That means the right arm comes up, and we're going to come back to the front. It's hard on these live things to decide which is front sometimes for me. So we're going to bend the right heel, the right knee over the right heel. Warrior 2, reach the arms out to the sides. Breathe, lifting the pinky side of the arm. Inhale. Exhale, take the right elbow maybe to the right knee. Or if you can, the right hand comes all the way to the floor. On the outside of the right foot, square the left shoulder on top of the right. Really lift the left thigh. 2 and 3. If the left arm comes overhead, if you can do that without catching the neck too much. 4 and 5. Come on up. Inhale, inhale, and change sides. Oh, my dog is really looking at me very lazily. Arms out to the sides. Exhale. Maybe take the left hand toward the floor. Right arm overhead. Breathe. 1. Stacking the shoulders. Lift the thighs. 2. In and out through the nose. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale. On the exhale, we'll take a twist. So left elbow to the outside of the right knee as immediately as you can. You can stack the palms
Square the hips, or you could take the left hand all the way to the floor and the right arm overhead. Inhale. Right arm goes down, left arm comes up. And change sides. Right hand all the way to the floor. Square the hips. Left arm overhead. Breathe 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Windmill the arms. Inhale, exhale. Come to whatever front of the mat you're looking at. Exhale, take yourself out to the side. So hands to the waist. And just pause. Prasarita Padmottanasana. Shoulders back, lift the kneecaps. We're going to bow in half. And then maybe the hands come and touch the floor. Maybe the crown of the head. If not, no big deal. I'll just turn to the side so you can see. The heels of the hands can adjust to the same side as the heels of the feet. Shift your weight. I draw the pubic bone in. And then just with time and breath, the head comes to the floor. Inhale, hands to the waist, reach the arms out. Exhale, B. We're going to keep the hands at the waist. Fold in half, the ribs tuck in. 1. Shift your weight forward. 2, 3, shoulders back. 4, 5, inhale. And then maybe you take the hands behind the back. Keep the hands linked. Inhale, exhale, fold in half, breathe. 1. You could have a little bend to the knees. Make sure you don't lock them out. 2, and 3, 4, 5. Inhale, exhale, D. We hold the big toes. So keep the pubic bone lifted, tailbone down. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the sides, pulling the ribs in the belly. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. All right, we're going to veer away from our scheduled Ashtanga sequence. Turn the toes out like you're in a very wide squat. Walk your hands underneath your thighs there, your calves. Shift your weight back onto the heels of the hands, and then your toes will come off the floor. So if you're just preparing for this and that's way too intense, you can take the hands just underneath you and try to scoot yourself right and left to get some opening in the chest and the inner thighs. And then the more you practice that, the easier it is to take the full Bhujapadasana. You're going to breathe there. 5, 4, 3. I'm lifting my chest so much. 2, 1. I didn't quite give myself enough room to do the fancy transition, so I'm thinking of Jania here as I separate my feet, hold the outsides of my toes. Inhale, exhale. Now, so we're not looking to do like the, 5-year-old acrobatic version of this where the nose just automatically touches the mat. Try to keep the tailbone in some way connected to the floor and then go down. So that might mean you have to bring the feet closer together, and it might mean that you don't go down as far. The other nice thing about working on this kind of yoga, it really helps with the ego, because if you can bring your nose to the floor but you're lifting everything up, well, what good is it? And then we'll take the little magic trick, reach the arms out to the sides, shift back and let the feet find their way up to the hands. Balancing on your sits bones. 5 and 4. Trying not to let the knees buckle or bend. 2, 1. And perfect transition for Navasana boat pose. So the feet come together. We release the hands from the feet, more pointed than flexed. And we'll call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross the shins. I'll show you if you have the 2 blocks, how lovely it makes it to lift off the floor. So that would be number 1. If you need to bend the knees, Ardha Navasana, fantastic. 2 and 3. In and out through the nose. 4, 5. Using the blocks again if you'd like. Lift up. If you need some blocks, let me know. Right here, it's Amazon Prime Day soon. Number 1. In and out through the nose. 2 and 3, 4, 5. If you don't have blocks or you want to just practice this way, you let your toes come to the floor, lift the hips. And I think this would be number, 4, maybe 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross those shins, lift up. Last time, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one of the things about Ashtanga Yoga is you go through the vinyasa through each seated posture as well. So I would put my hands on the blocks, try to lift up and shift my weight through. So I'm in plank. Bend the elbows by the ribs. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Inhale, inhale. Downward facing dog. Walk or jump through your hands. And we'll find our way to some of our back bend postures. So inhale, hug your knees into your chest. Exhale, I'm going to bring my little microphone closer to me. You're going to take your right toe in the right hand. And if this doesn't, if you can't hold the toe, that's fine. Bend the knee a little bit and or hold the ankle. Really align the left leg. So flexing the toes helps it not turn out. You have more control over it, more authority. Let's not use the word control. Lift up toward the leg. So it's more about you to the leg than the leg to you. 2. In and out through the nose, shoulders back. 3, 4. Lie back. Take the right leg open to the right. Gaze over the left shoulder. Breathe. 1. In and out through the nose. 2. So the right leg is going all the way to the right, but not at the expense of this left hip. We're not lifting it up. Really glue it down. 4. 5. Back to the center. Take the left hand and hold the outside of the right foot maybe, and stretch it all the way across the body. This one is sort of a yogi's choice. Just let it feel delicious, creating some space. I like to pummel out my hip. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Back to the center. Maybe take hold of both toes for a sec. Shift your hair out of the way. Lift up, little reverse crunches. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Take the right leg down. Lift up the chest toward the left leg. Breathe. 1 and 2, 3. Really reminding your feet you're doing an inward rotation of both thighs. Lie back. Take the left leg open to the left. Glue the right hip down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Let it cross the body. Oh my goodness. And feel good. Hopefully. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take both legs up and soles of the feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana. 5 breaths there. Inhale. 1. If you'd like to explore the nose off the floor, it gets more into the inner thighs. Or keep your head down. That actually feels like it's getting exactly what it needs to in the inner thighs as well. And let's find some bridge poses. So it's been a while since we practiced together. Just some reminders. Maybe if you have a block, you can take it between the thighs just to remind the body where you're feeling this, where hopefully you're locating all the energy on the inner thighs and less on the buttocks. Pressing the thighs together, so pressing the block, you shift back, trying to keep the ribs in, keeping the pubic bone lifted, the tailbone rounding up, and breathe. 2. Getting yourself really quiet. 3, 4, 5. Come on down. I'm going to take away the block and just try to muscle memory that. So as though I'm pressing the inner thighs toward the block, hopefully it continues that same sensibility, locating where the muscles hopefully are being used. This last time I'm going to walk my heels in a little bit closer so my fingertips can grace the heels. And shimmy your shoulders underneath you. Interlace the hands. Breathe. 1 and 2. Lift the hips a lot. 3, 4, 5. Come on down. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe a little circle the knees to the right. Just a little gentle, small one. Circle the knees to the left. I'm going to drop my knees to the right and take a twist. So just a quick word. The practice we did today was very much Ashtanga yoga based. The Ashtangis don't take twists after back bends, but the therapeutic BKS Iyengar ignited that sort of concept that after a back bend and before a forward bend, the body needs a twist. So especially since we can't all see each other, definitely include your twists. I like to massage out the back at the twist time. Hug the knees into the chest. We'll rock back and forth 3 times. Exhale back, inhale up. 1 and 2. And at this third one, stretch the legs straight in front of you. Inhale, lift the heart and the chest, and go just wherever the depth of your forward bend is. Forward fold, I should say. Inhale. Exhale. We'll hold here 2 and 3, 4, 5. You don't want to lock this out, so I'm flexing my feet, and even though you probably can't totally see it, I'm having a slight bend in the knees. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale. Exhale. We'll take some other therapeutic forward folds. So I'm just going to scooch myself so you can see. The right knee is going to bend just like tree pose and hug into that left thigh. Inhale. Stretch your hands toward the left leg. Breathe. Exhale. Fold. Shoulders square toward the foot, toward the leg. Breathe. 1. Lift the left kneecap. 2, 3. The full posture, you would hold the left wrist with the right hand. 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. You can always come through a vinyasa in between sides. But since we're doing this toward the end of class, I'm going to think about it more as a therapeutic posture. Holding maybe the outside of the right foot with the right hand. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. Go deep. 1. And shoulders square. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale. So coming through your vinyasa, inhale, exhale. Upward facing dog. downward facing dog. And we'll find a headstand for our final posture. Now, if you know that you like to head out to the wall, please do. Take out your hair. Make a little hut with your hands, like interlace the hands, and put it down there on the mat. Place the crown of your head right inside that hut. Walk your feet in, so you're in downward dog. And maybe you would shift the weight onto the crown of the head, lifting your legs up. Breathe. 1, 2. The legs have that, dancing spot. The spot that you can find there right in the center. Shoulders away from the ears. Still lifting and dropping the pubic bone, lifting the pubic bone, dropping the tailbone. If you're at the wall and you want to experiment with where the legs are, you can drop halfway, hold there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the legs back up. And then practicing one leg at a time allows you to take both legs down and find your way into a child's pose. So the counter pose to headstands are child's pose. I know we're moving quickly. Normally you could stay up and headstand for about 5 minutes. Take your hands forward. We're going to find single pigeon for my pal Jania. So if you don't go into single pigeon here, because anatomically it's not great for everybody, unless you have props, you can certainly use them. One underneath here, one underneath your knee, and then sort of reach yourself forward. You can also lie down on your back and cross your right heel over your left knee, so you can keep yourself propped up. Or you can lie your head down. The hands can be behind you or in front of you. These are just hip openers. Terrific way to watch TV, or, I don't know, does anybody balance a checkbook anymore or read a book? The newspaper at least. Answer emails. Inhale and exhale, change sides. So you swing the legs around, left knee's going to bend, and make sure you spend the time squaring off the hips so the hips have the opportunity to do what they need to do. You're not, again, just deciding, oh yeah, I know what this side feels like. Walking your hands down, keeping your left knee bent, your left hip going back, and breathe. Arms in front, or you can goal post your arms or keep them behind. Inhale, exhale. Find your way into one last plank. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the elbows. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Maybe pedal out your feet. Look to your hands. Walk or jump. And lie down for Shavasana, rest pose. If you know that you've neck issues, or if you tend to overextend the back of the neck, you can put a block or a pillow behind your head. Let the shoulders peel open. The palms have a natural turnout toward the sky, as do the feet. If you want, you can just remind the ribs to soften, giving a little pressure to the solar plexus, where we hold a lot of vulnerability, tension. It's really just maybe a gesture of loving kindness to place some pressure on it. And then I'm a big massager during our Shavasana. So since we cannot be together, you can just take a moment and soothe maybe the fronts of the thighs and then let it go. You stay resting if you can, please. As I come on up, just reminding different spots to relax, to release. I'm going to sit on a block. You might take your hands at your temples, massage out your temples. The jaw tends to get pretty locked up. You might walk your fingers across your forehead and your cheekbones. And staying in your Shavasana as long as you can, even if it's actually just a moment, by sealing your practice with this sense of conscious, my foot's cramping, conscious relaxation, conscious letting go. Hopefully that also gets into a muscle memory. And then as you go through the day and challenges occur, you know you have that on your own conscious ability to release whatever challenges you're facing. So with that in mind, Om Shuklam Baradaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Shaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vigna Pashantaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Finding a way to acknowledge your obstacles just as these things on the outsides of you, not the core of who you are. Thank you so much for practicing. How good it is to be together. Reach out to me with any questions, or if you'd like to join our Zoom classes. Have a very good Monday. Namaste.